Welcome to Asian American Life. I'm your host, Ernabel Demillo. This month, we're going to take a look back at some of our favorite stories. Here's a sneak peek. I caught up with America's hottest playwright who's rockin' Cambodian rock style. All laced up, meet the designer behind Nike's billion-dollar sneaker industry. Rolling in the dough, this James Beard nominee is New York's breadwinner. And these Asian American sommeliers are the toasts of the town. This and more on Asian American Life. In 2019, she was the most produced playwright in the country, and you've probably never heard of her. But remember this name, Lauren Yee. Her critically acclaimed play, Cambodian Rock Band, pays homage to a music genre that almost died.
Cambodian Rock Band is almost impossible to describe because it is so many things. It is a family story, it is a history play, it is a rock concert, it is incredibly morally complex for our characters, and it's just about survival and joy.
Award-winning playwright Lauren Yee, born in San Francisco and now living in New York, is setting up residency at the Signature Theater, and she's starting with Cambodian Rock Band.
I'm here to bring you back.
The play centers around a father and daughter wrestling with what happened in Cambodia during the brutal reign of the Khmer Rouge. Jhun is the son of Cambodian refugees in real life, and he plays the father. We met up with the newest cast members, veteran actors Frances Ju and Courtney Reed. Reed, best known for her role as Jasmine in Aladdin, plays the daughter Neri, and in flashbacks the lead singer of a rock band. For Reed, whose mom is Vietnamese and whose father helped Cambodian refugees resettle, this was a history lesson she's grateful to share.
When you go to the theater, what you really want to see, and you really want to leave feeling like, wow, this story, I've learned something, this story needs to be told, it's something I've never seen before.
Ju, last seen in David Henry Hwang's Soft Power, plays a character based on a real-life person.
That story of this father and daughter is framed by a real-life person named Doik, who I play in the show, who was a mass-murdering war criminal who ran a prison called S21, where students, intellectuals, artists, other Khmer Rouge leaders who were prosecuted and tortured and then executed.
The real-life Doik was sentenced to life in prison in 2012 for war crimes.
I think that Lauren has taken a very specific human atrocity that happened in Cambodia. And part of what she's saying is that this is something that happens all the time. It's continuing to happen. It's happening now.
Yee tackles the serious topic of genocide by looking back at Cambodia's history with rock and roll.
It was actually the music. I was at a music festival in San Diego that one of my friends dragged me to because she wanted to see her favorite band, and this band was called Dengue Fever. For anyone who doesn't know, they are an LA band who plays a mix of Cambodian oldies from the 60s and 70s and their own original work. I heard it and I immediately was like, I must know more about this band. And that led me down the rabbit hole of discovering their inspiration and also what happened to those Cambodian music artists.
Two brothers, Ethan and Zach Holtzman, formed the band in 2002 after one brother traveled to Cambodia and heard the psychedelic sounds of the lost covers of 60s and 70s Khmer rock. It was a music genre that just about disappeared when the Khmer Rouge took over Cambodia in 1975 after the U.S. left Vietnam.
What a lot of people don't realize is that Cambodia suffered more than any other country as a result of America's war with Vietnam.
The brutal regime, led by Pol Pot, killed close to 2 million people, a quarter of the population during their reign of terror. And the first people to suffer were intellects and artists.
Parce que les artistes sont influents. Les artistes sont proches du peuple.
So much of that music was burned. Just kind of the first thing that they did when they took over the Capitol was seize the radio station because they knew the power of music, of culture, of intellectual thought.
Popular Cambodian singers like Ros Saray Sotia, Sin Sisumat, and Pan Ron disappeared and believed killed by the Khmer Rouge. Their music almost wiped out.
You know, that it's like as if you took like a big chunk of the Motown catalog and just completely erased it. So some of that music you can't get back.
Yee's play pays homage to that classic music. The play features both songs from dengue fever and Cambodian rock songs from the 60s and 70s. For Yee and the actors, this is also a chance to tell stories from an Asian American lens.
What's really exciting about Cambodian Rock Band is that people like us are getting to tell that story. Yeah. You might hear this kind of story in other contexts, and usually it's a context where your hero is a white person. And here, the heroes are a Cambodian father and daughter.
One thing that's been really great with this show is that we've been able to create a space for Asian American artists and creatives and professionals to come together and experience what theater is like in a room of people who might share some common experiences.
The Signature hosted an Asian American night for the first preview, and it sold out in 4 hours.
People are hungry for that type of experience, not to say it's the only way that one should watch theater, but I think it is something new and exciting and resonates somewhere in people to try to see what it's like to kind of bring a community together and enjoy this type of story together.
Theater goers will have an opportunity to see more. Yee has 2 more plays coming to the Signature. I'm Ernabel Demillo for Asian American Life.
He grew up on the streets of New York City, cultivating a sense of style. And although his path to success was unconventional, Jeff Staple has become one of the most influential names in streetwear. Basic essential elements. That's how designer Jeff Staple describes his Staple streetwear, a brand at the forefront of street style since 2005, when Staple created the Nike SB Pigeon Dunk, a sneaker sensation that caused a riot.
Nearly 100 self-proclaimed sneakerheads got into a shoving match as they waited for the doors to open and the chance to buy one of only 20 pairs of pigeons.
The footwear frenzy made the news, and the collaboration with Nike on the limited edition sneaker dedicated to New York City with its pigeon-like appearance catapulted Staple to sneaker legend status.
This is the infamous pigeon dunk right there.
Yes,
yeah.
Wow. So this shoe now goes for how much if someone was trying to get one?
$30,000.
Wow.
Yeah, and
that's
the original
amazing.
price was $100.
After Pigeon landed, Staple was credited with bringing sneaker subculture to mainstream, resulting today in a $100 billion retail sneaker industry and a multi-billion-dollar resale industry.
Sneaker culture was a very underground niche thing, and literally on February 23rd, 2005, the day after the Pigeon Dunk released, everyone and their mom and their grandma now knew that sneaker culture was a thing.
I sat down with the head sneakerhead to talk about his journey creating Staple Design, which has 2 divisions, Staple Pigeon Streetwear and creative agency Staple Design Studio, a design empire built by Staple from the ground up, starting in 1997 with just a few handmade t-shirts.
I walked into a store and the store just said like, I like that t-shirt you're wearing, like, where can I buy that? And I said, I made it. And they were like, oh, if you make 12, bring them into the shop. So that's how sales began.
At the time, Staple was Jeff Ng, a student at Parsons School of Design using unconventional means to make his t-shirts.
My silkscreen teacher was like, no, you're not allowed to print on t-shirts here. And I was like, why? Like, what does it matter to you? You know, and she's just like, no, you can't. And I was like, I hate when people just say, no, you can't, and can't give me like a valid reason, right? So me and a friend decided that we would break into the silkscreen lab at night and just start printing shirts on our own. And that's what we did. We would buy pillowcases full of blank t-shirts on Canal Street. And then we would just bring in the pillowcase and like we would leave a window unlocked in the silkscreen lab during the day. And then we would know which window was unlocked, open it, and then throw the t-shirts in, and then we would climb in, and then we would be printing like all night long.
Soon, Staple was getting orders for thousands of t-shirts, turning his creative pastime into a full-fledged business. Staple assumed the name he devised for his brand, signifying the basics, and dropped out of school to pursue his business. At the same time, Staple was growing his graphic design firm and designing album covers for hip-hop record label Rawkus and the music magazine Fader. Then came his career-changing collaboration with Nike. 15 years later, Staple has expanded his reach, stamping his signature logo of a pigeon on a range of brands, from Sprite to Timberland.
So you could see like all the hairy suede, and then I added the zipper because I think it's hard to put Timberland boots on.
If Staple's path to success seems unconventional, it's only fitting for a guy who's led an unconventional life. Born in New Jersey to immigrants from China, Staple was educated on the streets of New York City as his parents ran an importing business in Chinatown.
Very early on, like from 12 or 13 years old, they were like, just go and roam around the city, like, you know, just come back by 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock when we go home, you know? But it was like real, you know, it was like graffiti was still everywhere, you know, sort of con games were happening everywhere, like, you know, just a lot of interesting characters.
And it set the stage for Staple's interest in street culture. In school, Staple says he bucked the stereotype of the overachieving Asian as a very average student who was one of only 3 Asians in his entire school.
So there was no sort of people of color minority representation whatsoever. And that also had an effect on me because basically from the ages of 0 to like 18, I was kind of ashamed to be Asian, to be honest. You know, like I didn't want friends to come over. I didn't like them smelling the foods that like, you know, my grandmother was cooking, and I didn't want to bring my lunch in, and they just didn't get it, you know, and I don't want to say that there was like overt racism, but like ridicule and name calling was an everyday thing.
Staple says when he went to work in streetwear, he was once again a minority.
And so there's always this thing about like trying to find the balance between representing who I am without drawing too much attention to myself at the same time, you know?
But Staple says his heritage has always been an innate source of pride and shaped many of his early decisions.
It's so funny. I was actually a big fan, and my family was too, of Connie Chung, right? Connie Chung was like the OG, like Connie Chung was like, if you immigrated here to America, Connie Chung's like, look, we've made it. There's Connie Chung on television. Like, we've made it, right? And so when I went to NYU, I saw journalism as a major. And so I said, like, I told my parents, I'm going to try journalism. And they're like, you could be the next Connie Chung. We like that. That's a good, it's not doctor or lawyer or accountant, but it is Connie Chung-esque, so fine.
Although Staple dropped out of NYU to pursue design, he did eventually put his journalism skills to use when he wrote an article for Fader that ultimately led to his collaboration with Nike.
So that's really how I got into bed with Nike, is like just purely as an investigative reporter.
So you are Connie Chung. It all comes full circle.
It all comes full circle.
Staple's sense of humor and humility are no doubt part of his appeal in a business built on expression.
To this day, 20 years in, when I see a kid wearing a Staple shirt, I'm floored. I'm like, holy cow, I don't even know that person, and he's wearing my clothes. It's crazy.
And Staple is once again putting his journalism skills to use with his new podcast called The Business of Hype on Hype Beast Radio. For Asian American Life, I'm Susan Jhun.
The bagel is a New York staple, but this James Beard-nominated baker has put a new twist on an old classic. Diana Dowhung is in a class of her own. As executive chef and partner of Black Seed Bagels, she's elevating a traditional Jewish street food with a little bit of honey and a whole lot of fire.
The baking method is definitely Montreal and the wood fire, but the dough itself is more of a nod to New York. So we took inspiration from both. We have three different types of dough. So we do a rye dough, what we call a white dough, which is your basic bagel dough, and then we do a multigrain.
With sandwiches like its signature beet-infused smoked salmon and spreads like Tobiko cream cheese, Black Seed made bagels gourmet. But New York may not have gotten Black Seed Bagels at all if she had not left a successful career in advertising to pursue what she learned to love from her mother, cooking.
She would literally force me to, grate my own coconuts and make my own coconut milk. Really, really early on, I, was forced to cook. I probably hated it at that time, but now that I look back at it, it really taught me skill sets that are, it might not be Thai cooking that I'm doing, but it's still a lot of the discipline that you learn as a kid.
In the 1970s, Diana's mother fled the communist-led government in Laos, swimming across the Mekong River to a refugee camp in Thailand. There, she met a Buddhist monk.
My dad was, doing his monkhood stuff and basically helping the refugees, and then he fell in love with my mother and came out of monkhood.
They married and had 2 children at the refugee camp. In the early 80s, they came to the United States as refugees.
And then a year later, after coming to America, they had me. So I'm like the American mistake.
The family moved to Orlando, Florida, where her parents found work.
My mom was a housekeeper for the longest time. And then my dad basically worked on the assembly line, making the actual electronic component of transformers.
At first, Diana says her mother was not pleased with her decision to become a chef.
My mom was just like, "What are you doing? We didn't come to America for you to go back into the kitchen."
So she turned to her father for some sage advice. After all, he had returned to Thailand to become a Buddhist monk once again.
He's like, "You know what? You should never do anything for the money. If you chase money, the money will run, And he really was like, "We moved to America so you could be happy."
Diana studied pastry arts at the French Culinary Institute, then worked as a line cook at the Mile End Delicatessen, where she met her Black Seed partners.
Good morning, how are you? In the beginning, when people would be like, "Oh, let me meet the chef," and I'd come out and I'd be like, "Oh, hey, I'm the baker," and they'd be like, "Oh, yeah, no, can I speak to the real baker?" And I'm like, "I'm that person." Being female and obviously automatically being Asian, they were just like, "But this is a Jewish food." But I think, it's part of living in New York. It's part of living in America. Once you live in such an amazing country where there is so many different cultures that you're touched by, you don't have to be Italian to cook Italian food. You don't have to be Thai to cook Thai food. So one of the best Thai chefs isn't Thai, And I think it's an amazing thing that's happening. I hope the world becomes like this. I love the fact that I have this special niche in Jewish food.
And the accolades for Black Seed Bagels continues. This daughter of refugees has been nominated for the James Beard Outstanding Baker Award in 2017 and again in 2018.
My story is unique, but it's not that unique in the whole Asian American life, and really having that first generation drive and really wanting to fulfill what our parents came here for,
For Asian American Life, I'm Rayner Ramirez.
I'm Minnie Roh. Wine is not typically associated with Asian countries or cuisine, but in reality, Asia is a fast-growing market when it comes to wine production and consumption, and many wines are a perfect match for Asian food. This is paving the way for an increasing number of Asian American sommeliers who are overcoming industry stereotypes and bringing their distinctive and unique palates to the table.
So the first one is actually an aligoté.
On any given day, you can find Ana Cabrales pouring wine for her discerning customers at Morel, a wine bar in the world-renowned Rockefeller Center in the heart of New York City.
I don't know of too many other Asian female Filipina sommeliers on the floor. I really don't.
Cabrales has been a sommelier for nearly a decade, yet she says she is still greeted by some who are skeptical about her wine knowledge because she's female and Asian.
And sometimes the reaction can be like, oh, you're the sommelier. Then it's just kind of like, well, do you have any knowledge about wine whatsoever?
Rather than taking offense, Cabrales says she uses this as an opportunity to open her customers' minds to the diverse world of wine, from who's pouring it to how it's evolving from a traditionally Western beverage to one that knows no boundaries.
Wine has just never really been like an integral part at the dinner table, especially in Asian cuisine. It's only happening now, especially with all of these new restaurants and, again, talent coming into the field, dining becoming like this luxury thing that everyone wants to be a part of.
Historically, domesticated grapevines can trace its origins to an area known as the Fertile Crescent as far back as 7000 BC. The ancient Phoenicians were instrumental in spreading wine throughout their extensive trade network. But the oldest alcoholic beverage known to mankind originated in China around 9000 BC, a drink called grog, made of fermented rice and beeswax.
China and much of Asia had a history of fermenting rice in the temperate zones, but sorghum and millet and cereal grains as opposed to the grape, although it was around.
Master sommelier Scott Carney, who is Dean of Wine Studies at the International Culinary Center, explains that because there was an established alcoholic beverage in Asia already, there was less incentive to produce grape wine in the region. Religion also played a big role in where and how wine made its way around the world.
It becomes part of Christianity, and when you think about it, the way in which it came to the Americas and colonizing Mexico and South America, it was part and parcel of the sacrament, and also it was needed.
Today, Asia is fast emerging as a wine-producing market, with vineyards of note in India and China, where they have devoted over 2 million acres to viticulture, second only to Spain in size. China is also ranked as the 5th largest consumer of wine and is projected to become the world's second most valuable wine market after the U.S. by 2020. Carney points to the number of Asian students at ICC's sommelier training program as a testament to the increasing diversity in the industry. Cabrales, who is an alum of ICC, says her Filipina upbringing played a major role in developing her wine palate.
We have some of the best palates, I'd like to say, very sensitive palates, just simply because of what we grew up with. Very complex flavors, foreign ingredients, finding things that relate in wine that you're like, oh, wait a minute, this tastes like a fruit that I've had in the Philippines.
So I put her palate to the test with Japanese sushi, Korean bulgogi and kimchi, and spicy Indian vindaloo.
You want to find wines that will highlight what it is that you'd like to enhance out of the dish. Should it be the vegetables in the dish, the spice, the savoriness of it? You don't want wines that will overpower like the entire dish, especially like the nuance that you find in there.
For sushi, Anna poured a German rosé and the latest trend in wine, the Vinny, vin as in the French word for wine, and NY because it's made in the Finger Lakes region of New York.
Certain things should just start to pop out from the dish. And maybe even like the sugars that were like, incorporated in the rice.
Bulgogi and kimchi.
We're gonna do an aged Italian wine.
Italian.
1997, coming from Friuli.
Wow.
This is wild. Whoa. That's brilliant. It's almost like this feeling of like sweet soy coming out.
Then our most challenging dish, the Indian vindaloo.
There's spice and you need to calm it down, and you want something that has, again, a little bit of like a sweet edge to it.
That's spicy. Oh, that's spicy.
Whoa, that's really spicy.
Relief came in the form of a rosé champagne called La Caravelle.
That's really nice.
Right?
I would never have thought to put champagne with Indian food.
Oh, it's a beautiful match. Absolutely.
Yeah.
As everyone's taste buds are different, Cabrales says the key to success is to keep an open mind and experiment. I'll drink to that.
Thank you for taking us on this
Thank
culinary
you.
adventure.
This was so much fun. Let's do it again soon.
I'm Minnie Roh with Asian American Life.
That's our show for now. If you want to learn more about these stories, be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Asian American Life. And be sure to tune in next month as we kick off our new season with a special on Asian American response to Black Lives Matter. I'm Ernabel Demillo. We'll see you soon.